What's up, guys? It's your boy with the Vengeance here with you today. I've actually been MIA for a little bit, probably a couple weeks now. Sorry, because I love to actually put content up, but your boy got a little sick over the past week or so, and luckily it wasn't COVID. But from that time, I've kind of tried to recoup and really just play games here and there to get some content out there for you guys. Actually give you some controller settings. I figured it may be better to take a look at a couple clips I put together for you guys, compiled for you guys. It's actually like just a bunch of multi-kills I've gotten out of like various game modes. I think I've played like Hardpoint, CDL Search, CDL Hardpoint, just a bunch of different game modes, so you see me kind of at work and a little bit of variety instead of just the same thing. You know, we all love Nuketown, but Jesus, after watching it so much, it's like, how much Nuketown can I watch? But before I gripe about Nuketown too much, you know, I did have a few gameplays from Nuketown here, so, you know, just guys take a look at it, and then after that, you know, we'll go ahead and look at my controller settings, and like I said, we'll go from there. The goal is to get maybe at least 50 likes on this video, and if, you know, I see that people like this, I'll probably do a little bit more things, like, you know, maybe more about like positioning, my mindset when I go into a game, things of that nature. But without further ado, let's get into some clips.
Oh fuck, 3 came from broken there. There's one other. What's shit?
You gotta.
They still got spawn and Sonic on you.
Contesting hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint located. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Hardpoint is secure.
Whoa, he's left wing.
Hardpoint is secure. We've lost.
Host spawns. I think they're trying to flip. Wow, one already left.
He's behind the
What is one over? These niggas are just terrifyingly weird. They flip spawns. Somebody back there.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is secure. Hostile spy plane damage overhead. Hardpoint contested. Contesting hardpoint. Chopper commencing ground attack.
Spy plane standing by.
Strike incoming. We're pulling ahead. Покажите им кто нас.
Hostiles destroyed your trophy system.
Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down. Enemy spy plane.
I might come all the way behind him, I don't know. Nah, I think they'll be watching that. Alright. Yeah.
Bomb planted. Hold your
Planet
positions.
A. Oh, he's in the kitchen. There's a guy on the stairs with me. He just jumped. Yeah, just weak on the, yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, I see you, cuz. Yeah.
Charges diffused. Only one hostile remains. We've lost the hardpoint.
We're green.
Hardpoint. Hostile spy plane established overhead. Hardpoint located. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Trophy systems has been destroyed.
We're back, and I hope you enjoyed those clips, guys. So before I get really into the settings, I'll go ahead and get set up on the right page. But I like to note the controller I'm using at this moment. I'm using I think it's a PowerA Fusion controller. I got it for about 85 bucks at Best Buy, and this is actually an awesome controller. I think it beats, going out and paying 200 for a scuff. But yeah, basically the controller comes with a bunch of different accessories. It comes with a pretty decent linked USB cord. I think it's needed really to use a controller. It also comes with like a mappable Pro Pack that you can plug into the back of the controller, which allows you to have, like, I think, a default of 4 paddles. I normally don't use the bottom 2 paddles. I use only the top 2 paddles, and I think for the left paddle I have that basically set up to be my jump, and the right paddle is for the melee or beatdown. I feel like that's kind of really the best thing, so I don't have to really take my thumb off, my thumbstick to try to jump or beat down. I already have it on my paddles. I don't have to really move my fingers into other spots, because I need all my time to really be to just snap on someone and pretty much take them out. This controller also comes with some taller joysticks or thumbsticks, and I've actually used one of the taller sticks for my right thumbstick, because I've seen and read that it's more precise to use a taller stick for what you use to aim, so that might also be helpful for you. As far as the left thumbstick, though, I keep it pretty much default the size it always is, because I think that's better for faster movement. I think with the taller stick on the right thumbstick, it just basically slows things down so you're a little bit more precise, but I don't see really the need for using it on both left and right. So I think I've given you just basically a basic idea of what I really use as far as a controller, and what I use as far as the buttons on my controller. Now let's get into these settings. So of course I'm playing on PC, but my input device is the PowerA controller. From my horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, I have that at 6. Now I got this basically this sense from watching pro videos, because normally they find probably the best competitive settings normally, and I just normally try to mimic that, from playing first person shooters, starting off in like Halo 3, and playing a lot of the older COD titles like Modern Warfare, COD 4 basically, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, things of that nature. I've always kind of played around with the sensitivity, and I stayed pretty much in the 5 and 6 range. This time around I kind of just took the pro examples though, because I feel like they normally have a good idea of what works. I think I have tried 5, but realistically the sweet spot for me is a 6. But also that's due to me running the sub whenever I play the game. I can play with this sense using an AR as well, but I tend to like to really play with subs. That's more the play style I like. So I normally stick to 6.6 for the horizontal and vertical, and for the ADS stick sensitivity, high and low zoom, I keep those at 1. Like I said, I normally, for these types of settings, I normally look at what the pros got set, so I just use what they have. Button layout, I actually switched to this in Modern Warfare, and realistically my goal for using this button layout was basically so that with my right thumbstick I could just basically control my slide animation with that. So it's like I don't ever have to take my hand off the thumbstick to do a slide. I can just keep my hand on the thumbstick and basically keep my movement the way I want it, and also be able to aim at the same time. As far as the flipped, I actually just set myself to flip a few weeks ago. The reason for this setting was With the Power A controller, I had a lot of problems, I guess, with the ergonomics of how the trigger and the bumper is, to where a lot of times when I'd be in gunfights, or with some gunfights, when I would hit my right trigger to shoot, I would accidentally throw a grenade, and it was so annoying, and it would always mess me up in gunfights. I'd get lucky, but it was just irritating. So by switching this to flipped, now I can use, left bumper for ADSing and the right bumper for shooting, and now I've pretty much completely got rid of that random grenade throw issue. And then, of course, that means that my right trigger and left trigger would be what I would use for my lethal and tactical grenades or equipment. Yeah, I don't use inverted. I feel like it's kind of weird to use. I think I've maybe used it one time a long time ago in a first-person shooter. Can't remember when. For aim response curve type, I use dynamic. That's like, as far as preference, that feels the best for me. I don't know. It's like when I use standard aim response curve, for some reason I just feel like it's just kind of weird trying to snap to multiple targets. Like if I'm in a gunfight, I shoot one guy, then I move to the other. It's kind of like, I feel like my snap should be on that person, but for some reason it's just like right outside of their hitbox or something. So when I switch to dynamic, I just feel like every time I snap to someone, my aim is pretty much, or my reticle is pretty much on where that person is, and I don't have to chase them around or try to give any extra push towards my aim. Also, don't use controller vibration. I turned this off. I stopped using this in the Halo 3 days. I just feel like it's kind of just too much going on. If you're already trying to, worry about getting your aim precise, your centering, all that good stuff, I don't really want to have to worry about my controller vibrating like crap in my hand. So for target aim assist, of course I have that enabled. For target aim assist mode, I have it set to standard. I think I had tried maybe Legacy or something like that. I think that's more like of a setting for like Warzone. But after a while, I put it back to standard and it just feels right. ADS aim assist, I've left that at enable. Airborne mantle behavior, I've got it set to manual. I'm not really sure this really helped. I still have stupid deaths where I'll mantle something during a gunfight where I don't want it, so I might end up switching back to automatic. I think I've heard pros say it really depends. I think a lot of them still run automatic though. Ground mantle behavior or grounded mantle behavior, it's just on press, hadn't really messed with it. Of course, aim down sight behavior, I have it set to hold, and I've always been used to that, so just decided I'd leave it there. Steady aim behavior, hold. For the attack vehicle control mode, I think that's maybe more for like, I don't know, dirty bomb, I guess, and arm behavior. I guess it's dirty bomb. I don't think that's Warzone. It's just a setting within Cold War. Stick layout, I've just left that at default. ADS stick swaps, leave that at disabled. So for the left stick minimal input threshold, I can't remember what that was at. I think I changed it to 0. Left stick max input threshold, left that at 99, didn't mess with that. So I guess with the left stick minimum input threshold and the right stick minimum input threshold, I think that has more to do with your dead zone, which basically ends up being stick drift with your controller. After you've had a controller for a while, and the thumbsticks get worn out, you can kind of maybe notice sometimes if you barely tap on either thumbstick, if you barely tap the right, and you just kind of sit there, you'll see your crosshair basically move slowly on its own. That's stick drift. And the same thing for your left stick. Sometimes it wears down as well, and maybe you'll notice that your character's kind of shifting to the left or right. That's stick drift. So a lot of times I think when you get a new controller, you can set these settings as low as possible for the minimum input threshold, and I think it has more to do with how reactive your thumbstick is when you press it. I think when it gets kind of worn, you want to set it up higher so the stick doesn't move, because that can mess you up in a gunfight. Like I said, both of the values though for the maximum input threshold, I left those at 99. I don't see any pros changing that, so I just kind of took their word for it. As far as auto move forward, left that at disabled. Auto sprint, left that at disabled. I guess if you're not competing, you could use it because I guess it gives you some kind of exploit as far as movement's concerned. But I believe this disabled for competitive reason. Sprint behavior, go to, left that pretty much I think default. Sprint cancels reload. I think I need to actually change that. I got it disabled, but I'll probably change it after this video. parachute auto deploy. I think this is more so for Warzone, or like not Warzone, but like Dirty Bomb, and maybe like Armada Strike, like when you're jumping off from, you know, the ship to the submarine deal. I think you might have the parachute there, so I guess that's what that's dealing with, but I don't really mess with those settings. Equipment behavior is hold, but I'll probably set that to tap. And interact reload behavior, tap to reload. So, you know, these are my settings. I'd say they're fairly basic, but I did get, you know, most of these settings from, you know, watching pro videos like Attach and Cent, people like that. I found their settings to be really awesome and work for what I need it for. I do sometimes here and there come and kind of mess with my settings, but for the most part I kind of just leave them where they're at. So like I said, if you guys like this video, I'll definitely probably put up more. You know, if I can definitely get like the like goal of 50, I'll probably put up some videos about, you know, like I said, my mindset as far as positioning, how I'll you know, attack a certain gunfight, since I normally am an aggressive sub player, and you know, how you kind of want to play depending on what map and what mode you're in. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the clips, and I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, some of my feedback on what I use as far as controller and controller settings. So ladies and gents, this video's already got outside of 17 minutes, and I definitely wanted to make it a lot shorter, but I'll get better as I go. Promise to start getting a little bit shorter videos, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys soon.